That's a picture of the Panthers lined up. That's the most widely published photograph. That was at a rally for the Free Huey. It was in Defirmary Park in West Oakland, which is in the black ghetto. It's the black area. The Panthers often lined up and marched like that. They were very organized. What people need to recognize is that the Black Panthers were a political party. They weren't a protest group. To me, what's interesting visually about that picture is that one person, the third guy, who's a little bit smaller. The next picture actually is a photograph of Bobby Seale, who was the co-founder and chairman of the Black Panther Party. A very charismatic speaker, and that picture is of him speaking. My relationship with the Panthers really was because of my relationship with Bobby Seale, who was a mentor to me. I was taking pictures, and they liked the pictures and they wanted to use them, and I got to know all the Panthers. I got to do a lot of not just the public things, but behind the scenes. That's a photograph at a Free Huey, Free Bobby rally. Huey Newton and Bobby Seale were in jail at that time. They were the leaders of the Black Panther Party. And that little girl is carrying a sign that the police should stop shooting innocent people, which I guess would still be valid today, 50 years later. What I like about that picture is just the girl looks so sweet and innocent, and the sign is very militant. So the rest of my career, in a sense, I've been photographing the issues that the Panthers were talking about. This picture was a young boy, I think he was 16. He was actually a hustler in Times Square. He was selling his body to make money. And he had that gun, which he told me he used to rob people. And that's a boy, he's 15 years old. He was actually an orphan. His mother had died, and he became addicted to heroin. And that picture was taken in 1982, when heroin started coming back in big way. That was on a rooftop, and his friend was helping him shoot up. And I asked his friend, you know, why are you doing that? And he said, look, Dell's gonna shoot up anyway, and at least if I do it, I know he won't overdose and he won't die. I love black and white. I think black and white is just so beautiful and evocative, and it's very good if you're shooting kind of hard subjects like that. It kind of, colors sometimes make things look too nice. It's in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, and those children are just children. I don't think that they were the ones who stopped that lorry, but they may have been the ones who set it on fire, and they were just playing. I mean, they weren't hard to find. They weren't hiding. I mean, that was just right out in the open. I took that picture in 1971. I was actually on assignment for Rolling Stone. California, Los Angeles area had the most homeless people of any place in the United States. I think there were more than 50,000 homeless people and families in Los Angeles. And there were a whole bunch of families that were camping on the beach. And so I bought a tent and took my car out, and I camped on the beach for a couple of weeks with the families. And that's also how you get to know people. You have to live with them is the best way, because then they get to know you and then they can get to trust you. I mean, if you're staying in a fancy hotel and then you just show up, it's different. That picture was a program called Friends of the Children, which targeted families where they had parents in jail, parents addicted to drugs. What they did was very simple. They just gave them a mentor, an aunt or an uncle. And this little boy, TR, was a real terror when I met him. Every day after school, he went and hung out with the drug dealers. And Zach became his mentor and just turned him around. That kid became one of the leaders, a great kid, went on to university. You know, with a lot of the problems that we face, we contribute to them. I'm not saying they're our fault, but we contribute to them. And part of what I've tried to do as a photographer is show people positive solutions. They don't always want to see it, but at least you can try to show it to them.